the more that your worlds, or your versions of Earth, descend into chaos and extreme danger, the more you're going to appreciate just how miraculous this is. Let's zoom in on Tiberia. Okay. It's nice and cool from the feeling of it. I would say it's probably about 23 degrees at 6:30 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning. There's an expression in Hebrew, it's very famous in translation. It's kof hamachat, which means the eye of the needle. If you take a look at the map of the Middle East, you'll see that Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel, is a tiny little sliver of land. And that is exactly it. That is the eye of the needle. Once you pass that, if you're allowed to pass that, it opens up into a version of reality that is heaven. That is the reality of the passing through the eye of the needle. And you can only get through the eye of the needle if you're a very, very fine moral fiber. Yeshu said that a rich person has no chance of getting through the eye of that needle. There are rich people that have done very, very great things. They do merit to get through. What's more important than how much money one has per se, although most people that have a lot of money are not of such fine moral fiber, is the stuff that you're made of. If you can get through that last sifting, it's also connected with the constant sifting of the solet, the very, very fine flour in Torah. One has to be sifted again and again and again until the finest material goes through. And it's still material, but it has to be very, very fine, very, very morally pure. And this is the reason why Hashem, sometimes when we're really tough, beats us down in order to be able to pulverize what can't get through. Those who are allowed through find that that tiny little eye of the needle opens up into infinities of peace. And blessed are those who have made it through the eye of the needle, because here you can see that our reality is very different. And as your realities, the realities of those who are of coarse moral fiber, of coarse moral material, as those worlds become increasingly hellish and chaotic, and they will, it accelerates and it progresses. Hell is progressive. Understand that July, which you say is the hottest month in recorded history, that's just the warm-up session. And then what it's warming up for is going to be the warm-up session for the next stage. Hell is progressive. The only way that you can get out of that, and you can get out of it, is by accepting that the ancient Holy One of Israel is the only God. It's not 3. It's not. It's not what the idol worshippers say. You must accept God on God's terms. You cannot hold up conditions to God. You do not get to define eternity. You do not get to interpret Torah. You do not get to determine who goes to heaven and who gets to hell. You've got to worry about your own sorry ass. Only when you get through that needle can you go about helping others. And I can see what's going on in your worlds. And I can tell you that very, very few of you are in any position to tell anybody anything. You need to start praying. You need to start praying hard, because it's really starting to get ugly, and it is accelerating and increasing and intensifying continuously, just as heaven does.